I recently read an article on Pitchfork about Greta Van Fleet's new album, and the album received a 1.6 out of 10. There isn't a title for this article, but there are a few different buzz phrases to get you to click on it. For example, the debut album from the young Michigan rock band is stiff, hackneyed, overly precious retro fetishism. Or this one, Greta Van Fleet sound like they did weed exactly once. Might want to check that. I don't think you do weed. I think you smoke weed or you eat edibles, but you don't do weed. It's not the way to say that. Anyways, let's get to this article. I'm going to give you my 2 cents on the subject and why I think this piece is a bunch of baloney. First, let's talk about the theme of the article. That Greta Van Fleet are essentially posers and only exist to capitalize off the quote, runoff of original classic rock. Here's the first stab of the article. The singer, the wretched and caterwauling third brother Josh, is in dangly feather earrings and vinyl pants like he was dressed by a problematic Santa Fe palm reader with a gift certificate to Chico's. Want to know how you know that somebody doesn't know what they're talking about when they're discussing music? When the first thing they say isn't about the music, it's about the musicians' outfits. That's like somebody going to a Metallica show and Metallica is playing Master of Puppets and all the person can say is, wow, black boots, black pants, black shirt. These guys are really milking this metal image. Real original, bro. The article goes on with the same tired notion about the similarities between Greta Van Fleet and Led Zeppelin, a subject that I've already laid to rest in a previous video that I made about Greta Van Fleet. Music casuals will relate the two sounds, but what's more, this article is a complete hypocrisy of what it stands to say. Again, the theme is that Greta Van Fleet is simply a code to plug into the corporation algorithm. They lack originality or, talent to actually play this music. In fact, the author says tons of people across the musical landscape, quote, play their instruments better than Greta Van Fleet, who are currently proficient at best. Does this writer understand what the word proficient means? I don't think he does. I would agree. I think they are very proficient musicians, hence the reason they're being confused for some of the greatest musicians to ever live. Also, in a higher education learning environment like Berklee College of Music, where some of the greatest musicians of all time attended, the test that you take at the end of each semester to maintain your enrollment in the school is called a proficiency exam. This is getting a little embarrassing for the writer. But here's the biggest shame of the article and where it completely contradicts the height of the high horse that it rode in on. The fact that Greta Van Fleet is simply cooked up in a boardroom of white-collar executives to be plugged into an algorithm. They have no soul or understanding or self-awareness about the music they create or even what they are as human beings. Well, actually, that's exactly what this article is. This article doesn't analyze any of the music on the record. It's built on cute little turns of phrase to cut the band down and metaphors to make the reader smirk. This article is more concerned about saying nothing that looks like something than saying something that is something. This article isn't an analysis of a rock album, it's a resistance to a sound that doesn't fit in the weird little indie box that Pitchfork is known for pushing. In fact, the bit of musical terminology the author does cite is a criticism the band doesn't even sound as good as a YouTube tutorial of a pentatonic solo or drum shuffle. That analysis is lazier than a sloth on OxyContin. See what I did there? I made a metaphor with an edgy drug reference and an insult built in. I can see why the writer does this. It's actually kind of fun. Let me simplify this whole subject for the writer and anyone who may share his sentiments. Here's how you can tell if a band is good. If they can play well live. Greta Van Fleet is selling out shows all over the world, so go and see them and let me know what you think of them. I saw a performance of theirs in Austin City Limits where they played everything perfectly, note for note. And I'm not going to mention the fact that these kids are like in their early 20s. Wait, I just did. Sorry. The bottom line is that Greta Van Fleet write their own music, they wear their influences on their sleeve, and they are bringing an awesome sound back to its rightful place among popular music. Look, you can critique a band if you don't like their music. I'm not saying you shouldn't be able to say negative things about a band if you don't like their music, but hiding behind the lethargic ignorance that is outlined in this article, well, it just is holding back progress. And I say to the author, Jeremy Larson, put that in your pipe and smoke it. And stop disparaging my last name, damn it. What do you think? Am I a little overheated about this article? I probably am. I have no ill will personally towards anybody, including the writer Jeremy. I'm sure he's a great guy and has great taste in music most of the time, but I just want to share my opinion as well. What do you guys think? Leave a comment down below and let me know. Oh, by the way, I guess I should say something about the new Greta Van Fleet album. I love it. I think it's awesome. It rocks. Age of Man, Lover Leaver, Taker Believer, and The New Day are a few of my favorites. So check it out. I would go try and see them live. I'm going to try and see them live when they come around the US. They're in Europe or something right now. Anyways, here's your Greta Van Fleet fanboy signing off. Until next time, keep shredding.